Doom the Dark Ages is a medieval aura farming simulator that'll have you tearing through more colons than a Taco Bell breakfast, which, by the way, if you're starting your day off with Taco Bell, seek help, talk to a therapist. This would be the perfect spot for a BetterHelp ad.
If I had one!
Anyway, this game is just some good old-fashioned fun. You're a badass dude in a fucked up world, killing everything in sight. There's definitely a story in the background, but let's be real, you're not gonna end up seeing this on HBO like The Last of Us. Which is totally fine, it does what it needs to and gets you out there fighting off more demons than Diddy. But I will say, when I first saw that the Doomslayer was being controlled by Jabba the Hutt, I was hoping there would be some bigger implications. Imagine how cool it would have been if the makers could only control a fraction of his power, so now that you're free, you unlock glory kills and get to go full-on Pickle Rick, shredding everything in sight like an FBI agent getting ready to release the Epstein files. And even later on, when you fall into a vat of acid and essentially become a zombie, there's still zero gameplay ramifications. What the fuck? These were cool scenes, sure, but huge missed opportunities to change up the gameplay. Instead, we got dragon and mech levels as palate cleanser. Why do developers insist on trying to break the gameplay up with some half-baked minigame that only serves to add more padding to their time to beat number? It's the same shit as the Spider-Man games, but at least here you don't have to be some soulless ginger every other mission. You want to do one level of dragon and mech, fine. They were kinda cool the first time. But to have them keep reappearing, it's like, come on, you put zero effort into this and tacked it on because you thought this shit would be cool enough to justify an $80 price tag? Get fucking real. This game is fun, but the only reason I played it was because it was on Game Pass. The price of games in general is getting out of control, and I'm sorry, but games like Borderlands 4, Mario Kart World, and Doom the Dark Ages just straight up are not worth $80, or even $70, frankly. So stay in your lane, yes that was a Mario Kart pun, and stick to $60 price tags. Plus it's not like the game is devoid of issues. I really don't like how many enemies are just fodder to the Doomslayer now. I mean, your fat ass wipes out entire groups of demons just by landing on the ground, got me feeling like DJ Khaled crowd surfing. And the shielded enemies are basically useless because the energy ones get one shot by the shield and the metal ones almost always come preheated. This made weapon swapping pointless since you could just shield throw and super shotgun your way through the entire campaign. Literally the only reason I swapped weapons was for my own sanity or to test out new upgrades. It wasn't out of necessity like it should be. And sure, you could turn up the difficulty and play speed, but that doesn't fix the core issue that some abilities are just busted. You can literally bypass 90% of the mechanics of most enemies by either throwing your shield into them or parrying an attack and shocking them with lightning. These two moves alone break the game and let you just snipe an enemy and burst them down while they're stunned. Now I realize this iteration was meant to be a step back in sweatiness from the complexity of Eternal, which I can appreciate. I'm not always trying to come home from work and have a fucking aneurysm while playing a game, but they overdid it for sure. Eternal gave you a reason to swap weapons because there was limited ammo and the weapons actually synergized really well with each other. Plus, secret hunting was actually fun with the platforming mechanics that were built into the game. Dashing, jumping, and rail riding your way through secret areas was like a dark, gritty Mario minigame baked in. Being landlocked in the Dark Ages and missing out on that verticality really hurt the experience more than I was expecting. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way because I got an achievement for killing a mandatory boss in Chapter 8 out of 22, and only 18% of players had earned it, meaning 82% of the Xbox player base didn't even make it past Chapter 8, and only 15% of players actually beat the campaign. Those are not good numbers, and even though they had 3 million players, they only sold 800,000 copies. So most of the people probably tried it for free on Game Pass because it is a cool fucking game, no one can take that away from them. But then after the gameplay loop kinda stagnated, they dropped it. And it just kinda sucks because Eternal set the bar so high for not just the Doom series, but first-person shooters in general that I can't help but feel like this was a bit of a step back for the franchise. The developers shouldn't take it to heart though, because they did something commendable and tried something new. Unfortunately, newer doesn't always mean better, as we saw in The Last of Us. When the writing is bad, people get mad and holy shit,
I'm gonna be a dad.